Okay, so there's a new series right now on Netflix that's basically Battle Royale meets Squid Game. And if this sounds intriguing to you, then you need to watch Last Samurai Standing. This show is so freaking cool. Now, I'm a sucker for stories about death games, and we actually had a bunch this year. We had the final season of Squid Game back in the summer, and then recently we also had The Long Walk and Running Man, which are two movies that I loved. We even just got the trailer for the new Hunger Games movie, which I am really excited for. And now we have this. We have Last Samurai Standing. Now I'm going to get into the show a little bit, but if you want to know nothing about this show going into it, then just stop the video and go watch the show right now. I have been wanting a fun action-filled show like this for a while, and it seems like I've finally found one. So Last Samurai Standing takes place in late 1800s Japan, where samurai are no longer a thing. They've been completely outlawed, the swords have been outlawed, so now you have all these former samurai that don't really have a purpose anymore, and they belong to a social class called the Shizoku. The Shizoku are basically just a kind of low social class that is made up of former samurai and their families. And in this series, our main protagonist is this guy who used to be a samurai, and now he is living with his wife and two kids, and they're really poor. And on top of that, there is a cholera outbreak. So now his family and the rest of his village are getting sick with cholera. And they're all poor, so they don't have any money for medicine or anything. So times are rough for our guy here. But then all of a sudden, there's this posting in his village that is talking about a tournament that has a huge cash prize, like a life-changing amount of money. And left with no other options, he decides to go and join this tournament that starts at this temple. So when he gets to this temple, he finds that there are all these other samurai that are here to join the tournament. And it's a total of 292 people that have come to compete. Now, there's a lot of mystery about this tournament. They don't really know what exactly it is. But then it is revealed that they all have to fight to the death. Hence, why I say this is pretty much Battle Royale meets Squid Game, because it's a game where everybody has to fight to the death, but there's a large number of people like in Squid Game, and also there is a prize of a life-changing amount of money. And on top of that, there's wealthy people that are watching the games for entertainment and betting on them. So it seems like this show takes a lot of inspiration from Squid Game. And just like Squid Game, in this first episode, you get all this carnage of all these people going at each other at once. And it ends up with a ton of people wiped out right in the beginning. After this initial carnage where you get a lot of death, the contestants are then set out on this path that they have to go through where they reach different checkpoints, and they're all given these wooden tokens that they wear around their necks. And when you kill someone, you're supposed to take their token. And to pass each checkpoint on this path, you need a certain amount of tokens. So you're kind of forced to go out and kill people, or at the very least, try to scavenge for tokens that people didn't pick up. And the final checkpoint on this path is in Tokyo. So that's where the game will end. Now, the great thing about this show is its characters. We don't just follow this one guy. We follow a bunch of different characters in this show, and they're all different. Interestingly, one of these contestants in this game is a child. A little girl that the main character has to protect. We also get this female warrior who's also, aside from the little girl, the only woman competing in this game. And of course, just like all these stories about death games, we got the one guy who's just there for the thrill of it and just wants to cause carnage and kill people. Just like how we had Thanos in Squid Game, we have this guy. Oh, and just like Squid Game, each contestant is assigned a number, and a lot of times these players will be referred to by their number. So yeah, there's a lot of parallels to Squid Game, these two Netflix shows. There's also this old guy who is just like a slasher villain. Like, this guy is so mysterious. He doesn't look that threatening until you see him in action, and this dude is a ruthless killer who is just completely emotionless and like doesn't give a fuck. And he will, as soon as he has his eyes on you, he will kill you. He actually kind of reminds me of the End from Metal Gear Solid 3. He's kind of like that, where on the outside, he just looks like this old, shriveled guy, but he can fucking kill you. He actually has this bell on his sword. And so whenever you hear the bell, you know he's near, and it's like freaking creepy. I think by far my favorite character is this guy who is a former ninja. As soon as this guy shows up, you have no idea if you can trust him. He comes off as charismatic and kind of charming and is like, hey, we could work together, you know, we should team up. But you're not sure if you could fully trust this guy. And you could tell the actor was having a blast in this role. Like, this character clearly has the most personality out of all the characters in the show, and he's fun to watch. I really like him. But like, yeah, you don't really know if you can trust him. The other thing I want to talk about is the action. There are some cool ass sword duels in this show. I had like a samurai filled night last night because I had just finished Ghost of Yote, which is phenomenal, by the way. I loved that game. And then I went and finished this series. So my night was just filled with Japanese sword play action. It was great. I loved it. Side note, if Sucker Punch wants to make another Ghost game, I think the time period in this show is the perfect time period to set the next game in, to round out a trilogy, because it could kind of be like Red Dead Redemption, which is like about the death of the Wild West and like gunslingers and all that, but for samurai. It's like the death of the samurai. That would be so sick. Oh, they need to do that game. I can make a whole video about that. Let me know if you guys want that. But yeah, the fight scenes in this show are so good. They're pretty intense. The final duel in this season is really cool. I won't spoil it. I won't ruin it, but it takes place in a really cool setting, and they do some neat tricks with this fight scene, and it makes for a really entertaining climax. Now, the one unfortunate thing about this show is that the story is not complete. The season ends unresolved because they do plan on continuing it into a season 2. That's the one negative thing I'll say about this show right now, is that you don't get to see who wins yet, because by the end of the season, it seems like they're not even close to the end of the game. Now, as of right now, I don't think Last Samurai Standing has been renewed for a season 2, which does have me a little worried. So you guys better go watch this show, because I need to see what happens next. This show deserves a season 2. I hope they could finish the story in 2 seasons, because I don't want them to make the same mistake as Squid Game and drag this out for a 3rd season that they didn't need, and then have it feel like it overstayed its welcome. I think 2 seasons would be perfect. Just keep the story tight, you know, don't drag it out too long. And this first season is a quick watch. It's only 6 episodes. It flew by for me. Like, I did not want to stop watching this show. Like, every time an episode ended, I wanted to watch the next one. So I implore you guys to watch this show if it sounds like something you're interested in. I really need the show to get a 2nd season, because by God, it deserves it. There's even more storylines about this show that I haven't gone into. There's even a whole side plot where like the Japanese government is trying to figure out like who's behind this competition and who started all this. So it's really interesting stuff. I think this show deserves to be talked about more. I haven't really seen anybody talk about it. I don't see anybody talking about it on YouTube. So yeah, go watch this show. It's really fucking good. And after you go watch the show, come back and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And if you've already seen it, comment right now. I want to hear your thoughts. I read all my comments, And yeah, let's talk about this show. I have nobody to talk about this show with because nobody I know has seen it. Like, nobody has watched this show. So please go watch the show and then come back and leave a comment so we can talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out some other videos on my channel if you're interested. It would mean the world to me. All right, I'll see you next time.